Okay, so let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a problem that, let's be honest, drives almost every English learner crazy. Why is it so hard to understand movies in English? We're going to break down exactly why that happens, and more importantly, give you a real plan to finally fix it. You ever have this feeling? You sit down, you're excited to watch a new movie, you hit play, and within minutes you're completely lost. You might catch a word here or there, but the sentences just fly by in a blur of sound. It's super frustrating, right?
Well, if that sounds like you, the first thing I want you to know is you are not alone. This is a super common problem. And the reason for it, well, it's probably not what you think it is. It's got less to do with your English being bad and way more to do with how you've been taught to listen.
And that brings us to our first big idea. We need to stop blaming your English skills and start looking at what's really going on.
Here's the key takeaway. The problem isn't that you don't know enough grammar or vocabulary. It's that the English you learned in a textbook is like a completely different language from how people actually talk. Your ears were trained for a classroom, and now we need to retrain them for the real world.
So what makes real-world English so different? Well, let's pull back the curtain on the big secret that changes everything. It's called connected speech. This is how native speakers really sound. So what is connected speech? It's pretty simple, actually. When we talk fast, we don't say every single word perfectly by itself. Nope, we mash them together. We link words, we blend sounds, we even drop entire words to make our speech flow more smoothly. And this is the #1 reason you feel like you can't keep up.
For example, in class, you probably learned to say, "What are you doing?" But in a movie, you're way more likely to hear, "What you doing?" or just, "What you doing?" The word "are" just vanishes. Your brain is listening for those separate words, but your ears are hearing something totally different.
Here's another classic one. You learn the full proper phrase, "I have got to go." But in a real conversation, you'll hear, "I gotta go," or "I got to go." The have is completely gone. See? Once you start noticing these little shortcuts, it's like you've cracked a secret code. Okay, so we get it. But how do we actually train our ears to hear this stuff? Well, that leads us to the solution. A simple 4-level subtitle plan. This is your practical path to finally understanding what you hear. Think of this as your roadmap. You just start wherever you're comfortable. Level 1, you listen in your native language, but turn on the English subtitles. Level 2, you flip it. English audio with subtitles in your native language. Now, level 3, this is the magic level. English audio with English subtitles. This is where your brain finally connects the sounds you're hearing with the words on the screen. And of course, level 4 is the ultimate goal. English audio, no subtitles at all. And hey, remember this. It is totally 100% okay to be at level 1 or 2. There is absolutely no shame in that. You gotta start somewhere. The whole point is to just start, build up that confidence, and move up whenever you feel ready. But here's a really important thing to keep in mind. Subtitles are like training wheels on a bike. They're an amazing tool to get you going, but you don't want to use them forever. The whole point is to get to a place where you can take them off. Because, real life doesn't come with subtitles. All right, let's talk about another thing that drives people crazy. That feeling when you get stuck on one single word, and then you lose the entire rest of the conversation. I bet this looks familiar. You're listening along, everything's going fine, and then, bam, you hear a word you don't know. Your brain just freezes. You stop listening to everything else to try and figure out that one word. But while you're paused, the movie has moved on, and now you're totally lost. It's such a frustrating feeling.
So how do you break that cycle? Well, a lot of the time, the real issue is just vocabulary. The more words you know, the less often you're going to hit one of those freeze moments. Every new word you learn is another tool in your toolbox that helps you keep up with the conversation without getting stuck. Okay, on to our final section, where we answer the million-dollar question I get all the time. This is all about how you can find the perfect movie to practice with. Everyone always wants to know, what's the one movie I should watch? Is it a kid's movie? A serious drama? What's the secret? And the answer is actually really simple. The best movie for learning English is any movie that you genuinely enjoy. That's it. If you're bored out of your mind, you're not going to be paying attention, and your brain is just not going to learn anything. Think about it this way. Your practice shouldn't feel like a chore you have to add to your day. The real goal is to find something you already love doing for fun, whether it's watching action movies or romantic comedies, and just start doing it in English.
You're not adding a task, you're just upgrading an experience you already enjoy.
So, with all that said, I'll leave you with one final question. Don't worry about what you should watch. What's the first movie that you are genuinely excited to sit down and watch using these new ideas?